Okay, let's talk about that feeling.
Yeah.
You know the one. You're putting in serious effort. You're good at what you do, like genuinely skilled, bringing real value. But somehow it feels like you're just invisible, like the work isn't landing.
Oh, yeah. And you see others maybe with, let's be honest, less experience, less under their belt.
Exactly.
And they're the ones getting noticed.
You are watching Influence Media, PSI TV, the Netflix of Biz Brands.
Getting the opportunities. It's incredibly frustrating.
It really is. You're pouring in your time, your passion, honing your expertise, and that authority, that recognition you feel you've earned. It just seems out of reach.
Participatory.
It's like you're trying your best, but nobody's listening. So today, that's what we're going to dig into. Why do some people seem to naturally gain influence, become the go-to authorities,
Yeah.
while others, just as capable, maybe even more so, stay kind of unseen?
And our mission here really is to unpack where that true authority comes from. Not the kind you print on a fancy title or declare yourself.
Right, not the self-proclaimed kind.
No, the genuine influence that other people actually give you. Willingly. We've been looking into some interesting ideas around this, particularly how that shift happens, and we want to explore that.
Okay, let's start with that pain point, the feeling overlooked. Because it's more than just wanting applause, right? It genuinely affects your career, your fulfillment.
Absolutely. Think about the passion, the sheer hard work you put in. When that effort feels like it vanishes. Some describe it as screaming underwater.
Wow, yeah, that captures it.
It's incredibly demotivating, isn't it? It can make you second-guess yourself, even when you know deep down you're good.
And I bet so many listening can relate to those specific moments. Like, you go to a networking thing, hoping for real connections, and you leave with, what, a handful of business cards and a vague sense of disappointment?
Totally. Or you post something online, something you've really thought about, poured value into.
Yeah, your best stuff.
And it just sinks, gets maybe 2 likes, lost in the noise.
Or, and this one stings, you see someone maybe less qualified land that project, that role that you were really perfect for and excited about. That's that sharp edge of being overlooked, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And it makes you wonder, well, how does influence actually work then? Because we're fed these narratives, right?
Oh, yeah. The usual suspects.
Get the fanciest degree, the shiniest job title, build a massive social media following.
Right. The look the part strategy. Build it and they will come sort of thing. Polish everything until it gleams.
I even saw someone jokingly call all that relentless, sometimes slightly forced self-promotion, like its own online comedy reel.
Huh. I can see that. Bit cringy sometimes.
But what's really key in the thinking we explored is this. Genuine authority isn't claimed, it's conferred. Other people give it to you.
Okay, conferred. So it's not about shouting louder.
Not at all. In fact, that kind of posturing, those superficial tactics, they often backfire. People have pretty good BS detectors,
Yeah, you can usually tell when someone's just putting it on.
Exactly. Authenticity, or the lack of it, comes through.
So if it's not the degrees and the follower counts necessarily, what really drives influence? What are the core components?
The concepts we've been looking at really point to 2 things: platform and perception.
Platform and perception.
Okay, you need a platform, a place, a context where your actual expertise can be seen and heard by the right people.
Right, not just shouting into the ether. An actual stage, maybe?
Could be big, could be small, but it's the right stage for the right audience. And then there's perception. Those people need to see you, perceive you as someone who consistently offers real value, real insight.
Okay, so platform gets you seen, perception makes them value what they...
You got it. And this idea of a platform is where things like, say, PSI TV come into the picture conceptually. It's about creating that bridge.
A bridge between the expertise someone has and the audience that needs it.
Precisely, because that magic moment, the turning point, often happens when someone gets onto a platform, whatever it is. And they share their real story, their deep knowledge, their actual passion, not just the polished resume points or the elevator pitch.
Ah, so it's moving beyond the summary, the highlights reel.
Yes. It's letting the substance shine through. Think about it like a craftsman finally showing their detailed work, not just talking about being a craftsman.
And that makes total sense. You connect with the work, the insight itself.
And that's where you might get what some call a mic drop moment.
Okay, intrigued. A mic drop moment.
Yeah, it's the instance where maybe one single insight or a really relatable personal story that makes a point clear, or just a genuinely fresh perspective suddenly cuts through all the noise. It resonates deeply with the audience.
And in that moment, boom.
Exactly. In that moment, perception shifts. People listening think, wow, okay, this person really gets it. Authority isn't demanded anymore. It's just given freely.
That feels much more solid, doesn't it? More earned.
Yeah.
When you connect with someone's actual thinking and experience like that.
It is. It's grounded in real value, not just presentation.
And the person facilitating that, like a host in an interview setting, their role becomes pretty important then.
Crucial. Think about the difference. Are you being grilled by some intimidating media gatekeeper?
Yeah, feels like an interrogation.
Or are you having a genuine conversation with someone curious, someone trying to understand and draw out your best thinking? Like the kind of approach Dr. Trudy Bierman is known for at PSi TV: warmth, intelligence, authenticity.
Right, creating a space where the guest feels comfortable enough to be authentic, to share those real insights.
Exactly. It's about fostering connection and understanding, not just extracting sound bites. That allows the expert's true authority, the stuff built on competence, to actually emerge.
Okay, so let's say someone gets that platform, they have that mic drop moment, people start conferring authority. What happens next? What's the real world result?
Well, we often see this kind of ripple effect, as some call it.
Ripple effect, like
once your genuine value is recognized, opportunities start to find you. Invitations to speak might pop up. Potential clients or collaborators might reach out, seemingly out of the blue. And often there's this big boost in confidence.
that makes sense. Feeling seen fuels you.
Totally. And that confidence then helps you contribute even more effectively. It builds on itself.
So the goal isn't really fame for fame's sake. It's about being known for the actual value you provide.
Precisely. It's about your contributions landing with the people who can genuinely benefit from them. That's the core of it, the PSi TV effect, if you will, in concept, connecting value to need.
It shifts the focus, doesn't it, away from just trying to look important
Yes.
towards actually being valuable and letting that value speak for itself through the right channels.
That's the heart of it. The recognition follows the value, and that recognition opens more doors to share more value.
Okay, so for everyone listening right now, maybe feeling that sting, that frustration of being overlooked, what's the big takeaway? The actionable thing.
I think the fundamental message is real lasting authority isn't built on hype or just, shouting about yourself. It really comes from being genuinely seen, truly heard, and valued for the unique stuff you bring to the table. Your expertise, your insights.
So stop chasing clout and start focusing on connection and value.
Pretty much. It's about finding or creating those platforms, those spaces where your authentic self and your real expertise can connect with the people who need it.
Finding the right stage for your specific contribution.
Exactly. Identifying those avenues where your inherent value gets appreciated because the audience is actually looking for what you offer.
So it's less about manufacturing influence and more about letting your natural authority emerge.
Precisely. Stepping into spaces where authority can be conferred on you based on merit, based on the impact you make, not just how loud you are.
So the call to action isn't just try harder, it's find your platform. Think about where your voice, your unique story, your expertise can actually resonate.
Yeah, where it can get the spotlight it deserves. Thinking about opportunities like being a guest on a platform like PSi TV, for instance, it's framed as a way for that voice to finally be heard authentically.
Moving from feeling invisible to becoming that recognized, respected voice.
That's the goal. So wrapping up, what we've really explored is that authority isn't something you grab.
You're right.
It's something others give you when they genuinely connect with your value. And that connection happens best through the right platforms and just authentic interactions.
So the final thought for you listening, really consider this. What platforms, what approaches truly let your unique expertise, your passion shine through? How can you create or find environments where people naturally recognize your value, where that authority can be conferred? Think about how you shift from being overlooked to being that go-to voice in your field.